Welcome to Melbourne. You can hear the roar of the crowd out there, which can only mean one thing. Race day is upon us. The Melbourne circuit is certainly one that needs to be taken seriously. Its combination of slippery surfaces and difficult corners make it a tricky track when it comes to overtakes. Drivers find it hard to pass and will need to take full advantage of those DRS zones if they want to have any hope of breaking through. And as always, a man with plenty of racing experience joins me in the commentary box.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome back to Formula 4 Racing. Well, with me again is the infamous one, the amigo, Infamous Pillars. How are you, mate?
Yeah, I'm good, mate. Good. And we're happy to be here for obviously these boys' home Grand Prix. So hopefully they put on a good show for us.
Exactly right, mate. The home Grand Prix, yes, here in Melbourne, Australia. And yeah, looking forward to this one, I'm sure. A lot of the boys are. I know it's a sort of a love-hate relationship with some of them with this track, but we'll see how they get along this evening anyway. We've got the Popcorn Man in the chat, and these boys can ready up. I'll just put a quick message in the paddock for them there, Pills. Give us a... Okay, the message has gone out, mate, and yeah, the boys will ready up. And of course, if you were there at the start of the stream, you would have seen all those championship tables roll across the screen. And yeah, that's exactly where they are after last week's racing, of course. And well, yeah, that'll be happening on a weekly thing. I'll still pop them out periodically. Well, pop them up or whatever you want to say. That didn't sound too good there, Pills. But yeah, we'll bring those championship tables up on screen for you guys and girls at home when the time is right, of course. We've got Mr. Fury Strat in the chat. How are you, mate? Yes, Snooey, he's got a full-time seat. And, well, we've had plenty of racing experience together, of course. But yes, Snooey has got a full-time seat, and he is racing as a Pot 1 driver there, Pills, in Team Hello Kitty. So we wish Snooey all the best. Great to have him back with us. And yeah, well, no better place than the Home Grand Prix, mate. Excuse me.
No, definitely not. Definitely not. Haven't seen as much of Snowy as probably what you have. So, but obviously being Pot 1,
yes,
I'd imagine that he'll be straight on the pace. So hopefully be able to see him up there, giving the boys. Well, obviously not what's his name? One select tonight. Obviously he's not here.
Yes, but of course. Yes.
We have still got the other 3. We have got Aus Div as the championship leader, so I'd imagine he should be giving him a run for his money.
Exactly right. We've got Tollers as a debutant, debutant. He is actually Macedonian's cousin. We've got 2 sets of cousins here. Obviously, 2-5 is missing. He is Suicide 5's cousin, and yeah, Tollers Macedonian's cousin. So there you go. And Crazy Kiwi, he is the other reserve. He did have a full-time seat, but obviously with the game and the teething issues, just couldn't commit to a later time slot because the time slot has been shuffling around a little bit, and we've sort of come back to a more stable sort of time slot, the original time slot. And yeah, Kiwi will probably hopefully see a hell of a lot more of him, of course. And yeah, Melbourne, Australia, Pills. We've got some action out on track, mate. That is a Jaguar, I think.
Yeah, it is.
Wait,
it's Rip the Beans.
That camera took forever. I do apologise, folks. Every time I go to the broadcast, it goes to the pit lane. What the hell? Hang on a sec.
It looks like, right? Oh no, mate.
There we go.
Yeah, right. I'm getting this a little bit as well. No, I'm alright now. I'm good. Yeah, we're good.
Okay. Well, there you go. Come on, cameraman. It's the Home Grand Prix. Can't be doing that to us. Yes, Rip the Beans out on track and warming up his tyres, of course, ever so nicely. Yes, we have 16 corners here at this magnificent Albert Park Street circuit. And yeah, well, when it is on, I go every year and looking for, well, hopefully, Pills, we get to see it again next season, 2022. Would you believe that? But yes, that stand to the left of you is the Schumacher stand. You'll see a French flag as, well, Rip the Beans comes around the corner. You don't see it with that angle, but there is a French flag there, and that is the Prost stand, and that is exactly where, well, the seats are getting upgraded. I'm going there, and you get to see more of that last corner as Rip the Beans has invalidated, unfortunately, at the first corner, so you'll have to go again. But yeah, like I said, you get to see more of that second last corner and them turning onto the straight. As we've got Swanshanks in the chat. Swanee, baby, where are you? What does that thing say? I can't read it. It's too small from here. I don't remember what it says, but I know I should remember it. Where are you, Swanee, or something like that. Anyway, how are you, Swanshanks? Good to see you, mate. But yeah, like I said, you get to see more of that last part and the start of the lap. And a bit down the pit lane as well, which is pretty good. So more towards the second last corner, turn 15, is the Schumacher stand, which was the seats of the day. They've been sitting there for quite a while, and you don't really get to see them go down the start-finish straight from that point. You get to see that turn 15, turn 16, but once they go onto that, well, where the straight goes straight, so to speak, you do lose sight of them, as Rip the Beans has pulled out of that one, obviously, with a red track map. He's got some traffic in front of him. Who else is out there, Pills?
Well, Mr. Fewstrat was on a lap and then found himself eating a barrier. We have got Snooey's teammate at Hello Kitty on a lap as well. Nodsty is currently on one, and so is McKinder as well. So there will be a few times coming in. Snooey is coming towards the back end of Sector 2, just coming towards turns 10 and 11, which seems Snooey backing out of this one.
Yeah, it looks like he's backing out of this one there, Pills.
Yeah, he's backed out of that one. Well, Crazy Kiwi. He's been given a 5-place grid penalty for collision with Kai Sonic. He's out of the session. I don't know what's happened there, but Kai Sonic's out of the session and Crazy Kiwi has a 5-place grid penalty.
Well, there you go. Not too sure what happened there, though folks. But, yeah, riding on board with Smakinda. Team Jaguar, of course, here, Pills. And Q1 session. Nothing to get too excited about just yet. But, yeah, just trying to navigate. That's probably the most trickiest corner in this, well, on this track, of course. Get it wrong, and wow, does it go wrong? Usually with one less wheel. That's Smakinda, whoa, just struggling to keep that inside the track. But yeah, Swan, oh, that's it. Where are you, Swanee? That's exactly right. I'm not even going to say it. Not even going to attempt to say that H word. But Aussie, yeah, plastic Aussie is what they used to say. But yeah, welcome to the chat, Swanee. As Smakinda sets a 121.8 to get us underway. And yeah, obviously P1. Johnny M4, well, what's that? 0.5? What is going on?
Another yellow flag, as that is. What's going on there?
I'm not too sure, but Tollers has invalidated. Snooey is on another run. He's coming around well. A bit of a tank slapper there. And, well, the track map's still green there, Pills, as we'll flick down to Rip the Beans, and that is a bit further along. So we'll stay with Snooey. And, yes, that is, well, a temporary livery, of course. A bit of a latecomer, of course. And, well, that livery the boys have got for that car is, well, was it a limited edition one, I do believe. But yes, Snooey sets a 1 minute 22.1 for his first run here in a Q1 session and is invalidated on that first turn. So, well, his fuel light is screaming at him anyway, so he didn't have enough fuel to get back around. Macedonian is currently out there as well. A couple of lads out there at the moment. Bopton, we do welcome back Bopton, the golf racing pot 4 lad. And, yeah, been busy working has the Bopton man. And, well, he will need to go again. That track map is red, Pills, as we'll flick back up to Rip the Beans. Whereabouts is he there? Good place to pick him up from, I think. We've got Bozzer out there on an outlap, I do believe, who was ahead of him. So I think it will be Beansy, mate.
Yeah, I think it will be. That's really just a tough track in general. I still remember your words to me last year. You got to treat it like your B star. And it's 21.890, and it's true. I mean, you have to. I've tried both ways, and ragging it around seems a lot better than piddle-footing about. But I mean, depends what gets the job done. This game is a lot more unforgiving.
As Xerxes has just joined us in the chat, and you've read my mind there, mate. Because I think it's time for a new mic there, Pills. That was crackly, mate. It sounded like you were, you were playing with a bag of cellophane while you were talking. I don't know what it was, but yeah, it was very, very crackly there. So, Xerxes in the chat saying, time for a new mic, and do it for the league there, Pills. You can do it, son. So, yeah, Macedonian, a 138.9. That is not representative. We've got Mr. Fury Strat out there on a lap. Darkness Abyss is out there as well. Who else is further out there? Gee, we still apologise, guys. Got a little bit carried away with that. But Brad Tay is, well, he's just getting himself going, isn't he? So we'll go back up to Mr. Darkness Abyss it was, wasn't it? Yes, it certainly was Darkness Abyss. And yet to set a time. He's got yellow flags in front of him. I do believe that's for his teammate. Not too sure who that is. There's two Jaguars currently out on track of the Stig and Rip the Beans. But here comes Darkness Abyss. There it is. It was Beansy. So, yeah, Beansy getting out of the way of his teammate. And maybe he's run out of fuel. Not too sure. But here comes Darkness Abyss. Crosses the line. He sets a 1 minute 23.2. And that is P7 for now, Pills.
Yeah, not bad at all. Obviously, still nine minutes left to go of a qualifying session. And I still say half a grid set a lap. So, see what happens. Obviously, people will start pushing those boundaries towards the back end of Q1.
Well, there he is, Mr. Positivity himself, as Nahama crosses the line with a 1 minute 23.277. And yeah, Pills, yeah, just a bit more positive there, my friend. Nothing to get too excited about, he reckons, of course. Yes, 8.5 minutes remaining in this session, folks, as Brad Tay is out there. He's coming around turn 15, approaching turn 16. There he is there. And let's just see what Brad Tay can do, of course. Yet to set a time. Interesting to see how these boys are faring along. Of course, the patch update did slow these cars down and then some. So I do know that as well. So these boys, well, in the past would have gone a lot quicker. The times would have been a lot lower, but that's the same for all of us. It is affected everybody just as equally, of course, as Nodsty currently out there, but not too sure if this is his lap. Is it his lap? Yes, it certainly is. Yet to set a time there, Pills. We've got Suicide 5 out there as well, just getting himself underway. So there's what is there? 5, 6 blokes yet to set a time here at Melbourne at Albert Park, of course. And, well, let's just see what they can do. Interesting to note, there's 3 Rockstar cars and yet to set time. So wondering if they're playing the team game there, Pills, waiting for the track to rubber in ever so slightly. And, well, they find them all out there at the same time. Albeit, as I do say that, they make a liar of me. And Blue Dog and Old Boy, well, working as a team, probably giving each other a sneaky toe there. And both entered the pit lane at the same time.
Definitely. Yeah, and he's not out there alone with Suicide 5 as well. Hopefully Suicide 5 can grab himself some more points. He's had a bit of a rough ride of it so far, but a long season and a lot more races to go. But Nodsty actually setting his first time lap of this session, and it's going to be a 22.5. So I'd imagine there's some time enough for Nodsty there.
And there he is himself, Mr. Altitude, Mr. Suicide 5, coming around turn 15. There he is. And that is the livery, folks. That is the Hello Kitty livery. And, well, that is what it looks like, of course. Suicide 5 approaching that finish line. He sets a 1 minute 23.9 Pills. And that is good enough for P15 at the moment, mate.
Yeah, definitely going to have to go again.
100%.
It's close between Suicide 5 and Bopton as well. So, and you still got Blue Dog, Crazy Kiwi and Old Boy to go. So, with, I don't know, I can't even see how many, with 6 minutes left to go, this is all still to play for in Q1.
Well, it certainly is, mate. Of course, yes, we could lose the bottom 5 drivers. Only 4 more to lose, of course. Kyotonic is out of this session. Missed what happened to him, but... yeah, I think, who was it? Tollers, I think it was, that got a fly place grid penalty.
No.
Sorry?
Crazy Kiwi.
Crazy Kiwi. Yeah, I knew it was one of the reserves. I do apologise, but there you go. So not too sure what happened there, folks, but we will worry about that at a later date. So Suicide 5, half a second up on his previous best, Pills. So it puts him in, well, it doesn't put him that much higher at the moment, but he's got to carry that momentum, of course, and hopefully he can build that half a second into, say, 3/4 of a second and bump him up even that ever much more. So let's just see what he can do. He's approaching the end of his run now. 5.5 minutes remaining in Q1, of course, folks. So, well, not panic stations just yet, but he probably can get around one more time, I dare say. Put it in the pit lane, put another set on if he needs to, and go again. But he sets a 1 minute 23.2 Pills, and that is P13.
Yep, hopefully we'll be safe, but still think I might need one more lap, just purely because track acclimatization around here is huge. So
exactly right, and
I'd imagine the ramp up will be just as big in Q1.
Rip the Beans has had an off somewhere. He's got no nose whatsoever. And, well, he's putting that one in the pit lane, of course. But, yeah, running around with no nose. Must have spun. Just probably caught the end of it. And Macedonian. Yes, well, he's the political propaganda machine. Is what he's carrying on there. And, yeah, well, I mean, each to their own, of course. We've got Ramsel in the chat. How are you, my friend? And Mad G in there as well. Johnny M4, all the boys are there. Hello there, Housey. Good to see you all there and supporting these Aussie lads. Yes, the home Grand Prix, Melbourne, Albert Park, St Kilda. And yes, not too far away from where I am myself. And, well, there you go. Blue Dog currently out there on track as we speak. Right in the cusp is Blue Dog, of course. That's not where he wants to be. Blue Dog being a pot 3 driver there, Pills. And, well, he usually qualifies pretty well. Races very consistently. Interesting to see where he puts himself, of course. Right in the danger zone at the moment, mate. Got plenty of time. Like I said, still 4 minutes remaining. So, probably this one and one more after that. And that'll be it.
Yeah, definitely. It is like it's a minute 21, minute 22 laps, so it's 2:44. You know, that's after an lap and one go at it really, because these tyres are pretty well. The softs around here are pretty much like a 1 lap tyre. Wouldn't really want to use them for 2 laps ideally, but if these boys might need it, they might need to do it. But
Well, I mean, it is
For
only
me,
Q1,
I
I
just
dare
don't
say.
think you get a performance that. Yeah, but you just don't get. You still don't get the performance out of it. And if everybody's improving on a single lap,
Yeah,
on
exactly.
one
Yeah,
lap
well,
of
you are
the
right.
softs,
Yeah, they're spot
you
on.
just haven't got obviously the pace left on them.
Exactly right. There is a stray wheel sitting still on track there, as yes, Mad G. Pity it doesn't have the new layout, of course. Yes, it's all done. It's all complete. All the works have been done, but yes, not in the game. Um, just the same with the addition to the Spanish track. Yeah, all those different things. But hopefully seems to be the word of the day, of course, Mad G. But yes, we are still watching Blue Dog. Do apologise, folks. I did miss Crazy Kiwi's lap. He's still put himself P8. He's gone back in the pit lane. Who else is out there, mate? We've got Bopton on an outlap, of course. Yes, he's about to get himself underway for his last run. Sitting in P19 pills with a 124.0. So, well, he's going to have to improve by a mega bit, of course. Yes, well, nearly 8/10 to be fair there, because Nat Hammer sitting in P16 with a 1 minute 23.2. So, well, he has to do better than that. And, well, it's a long way off at the moment.
Yeah, definitely. But but I mean, even if Bobson is out, then
Yeah, I don't
the
mean
big
that.
points
Yeah.
come in the race. So you know,
I do apologize. Sorry,
we'll be
mate. I do
fine. We'll be
apologize,
absolutely
Brompton. That
fine.
wasn't a dig. I just realized what I said. That was not a dig. And yeah, of course,
No,
Brompton.
but I mean,
Yeah.
hopefully, hopefully he has got time to get out
Yeah.
of Q1 and has got that in hand. I knew what you meant, Gary.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
might be
Well, I
right,
mean,
son.
I got to clarify because then after the words came out, I'm like, oh, that could sound pretty bad. Yeah, it wasn't like that at all. But yeah, here we go. So Bopton currently out on track. Well, almost level pegging. Oh, he's gone a touch wide, but the game still says keep going, son. So the resident, well, one of them anyway. We've got two Kiwis in the field, I do believe. We've got Crazy Kiwi, obviously, and Bopton, the resident. And let's just see what time he can do. He wants to do better than a 1 minute 23.2 at the very least. Let's just see what he can do. Let's just see if Bopton's got enough in the tank to get this above the knockout zone. So, well, it's shocking how they've got that lap 3, sector 2 yellow flag there, because we don't know how much time is remaining. But yes, Bopton does improve slightly by 2/10, but still P18 pills.
Yeah, he's still got 2.2 laps, so I'd imagine he's going to give this one more go. And it looks like a lot better sector 1 so far from Bobson. So hopefully he can get the job done and get himself out of Q1. But obviously still got Blue Dogs slowing down. Still don't know how much time is left. You've got the Stig and Suicide 5 on laps as well. Mr. Fury's
Mr.
the man
Fury.
on the man on the bubble. And I mean, there's only 1600s to see Fury strap the Stig, so this is going to be very, very tight. As Bopton is half a second up for sector 1 alone.
This looks better, though.
So,
this looks better, is it? Oh, no, it's not. Just slightly off by 2/10. So, well, don't even know. The checkered flag hasn't fallen across his name. That fuel light is screaming, though, Pills. So, whether he's got enough juice to make it around again, of course, yes, the Stig is currently out there on a run. At the first sector, he was, well, a tenth and a little bit down on his previous best. Got Suicide 5, as you did touch on, behind the Stig. And, well, Blue Dog has called it a day in the pit lane, just about out of fuel. Bopton has invalidated, so we are watching the Stig, Suicide 5, and Fury, of course. Fury a 10th up on his previous best at the end of the first sector. So we'll flick back down to the Stig, because he is furthest along. And no, if we're to believe those times, mate, he's 6/10 down on his previous best. So doesn't look too good there for the Stig at the moment. He will sit in P16. If Suicide 5's got anything to say about it, we'll quickly watch the end of it. But I don't think he is. I could be wrong, folks, but unless that... Nah, it looks like he's not. No way if he's going to that side of the track. And Suicide 5 has invalidated. Oh, no, that track was green a couple of corners ago. And unfortunate
Fury's
from the lad.
put it in the wall as well, but he's still going.
Fury is out of... I think he's out of... Did he put in the wall, or is he like that fuel light has been screaming pretty much a whole lap? So
yeah, he's got no front wing.
Yeah,
so
he's got no front wing
somewhere.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that's qualifying one done. Then that is that.
Well, the most uneventful qualifying session of them all. Yes, Q1, and that is no disrespect, but yes, Q1 is done and dusted, and we will lose obviously Kyotonic, Bopton, Blue Dog, Suicide 5, and the Stig. Oh, have a look how much Fury survived by those pills. Oof.
I know, and then you got Brad Tay just above him by 1300. I mean, those
Yeah, mate,
three
that
couldn't
is
have been
so.
any
Yeah,
closer,
no,
really.
that's right. That is exactly right. So, well, the width of a tally-ho paper, as they used to say. So, yeah, Chasey Dane making his way back to the pit lane, and this Q1 session is done. Oh, there you go. Bopton is in the chat saying he was almost 1 second up on his previous best pills, which would have put him,
Yeah, he was.
well,
I saw a few seconds
around
too. He
about
was 8 tenths
Tollers'
up.
time. So, well,
Yeah, he was 8 tenths up. But...
8/10. So, well, Bopton putting a 2/10 bit of mayonnaise on it. And I'm only joking, Bopton. But yes, well, it's all about keeping it valid, my friend, as you know. But the race is very, very long, of course. And, well, we say it every week, mate.
That's where the points are
Anything
handed
can
out
happen.
anyway.
Of course. You just got to finish, yeah? Just got to finish. Sorry, folks. Yes, there you go. So Crazy Kiwi with that 5-place grid penalty in P10. Yes, he wants to qualify as high up the grid as he possibly can. As we did touch on, the Stig, Suicide 5, Bopton and Kyotonic out of this session. While Fury's changed his flag. He's gone from a Spaniard to a Portuguese. Or was he Portuguese last week? I don't know. This game's throwing us for 6. And Darkness Abyss is what sort of flag is that? Is that a Swedish flag? Not too sure.
That was Ukrainian.
The Ukrainian, that's it. The
Ukrainian
flag. That's right. And so Darkness Abyss changing it up as well. So there you go. Q2 underway. 15-minute session, folks. And, well, this is the strategic session. We do touch on every week. Almost sound like a broken record. But, well, the tyres you qualify fastest on are the tyres you will start the Grand Prix on if you finish in the top 10, of course. We will lose 5 drivers in this session, P11 through to 15. And that is the knockout zone.
Now, being a resident Aussie here, Skate, what tyres would you start on, ideally?
Here, the mediums.
At least you're a man of your knowledge. The reason why you're here, Gav.
the medium. But yes, of course, yeah. Well, that's up for these boys to decide. I used to, when I used to do a full qualifying session, I used to play, well, not games, but to deceive the opposition and run out with my Q1 set, of course, a scrub set. So I'm not cooking any extra sets if I don't need to, and making sure I lift in all the right places. So it's a slower lap. So when you put the mediums on, you're absolutely going to smoke it anyway. So it's just one of those things. Some people like to do that. Other guys like to sit back and wait for right at the death and have a go, or whatever it is. There's no right or wrong way. Yeah. Each to their own, as we say, Pills. And, well, strategy is almost everything these days, of course. So quickest way around, start to finish, 27 laps, and usually gets the job done.
Definitely. I'm not seeing anybody out on the mediums at the moment. I'm seeing a lot of softs. I'd imagine there could be some sort of, obviously, banker times going on at the moment and then straight into...
Well, I think so,
the mediums
mate.
at about 5 minutes left to go, maybe a little bit longer just in case we do invalidate and they can go again. But
well, you've got Nodsty currently
across the line.
You've got Nodsty out there. He's on a medium, but if you notice on that track map, you've got 2 Rockstar Racing lads nose to stern on the back straight. So, well, Nodsty, of course, is on an outlap. Brad Tay on an outlap. So these boys looking to do the team thing, the team game, which is what we love to see. But yes, Nodsty on the medium, so he's going to chance his arm early doors in a Q2 session, mate. get it out of the way ASAP. But of course, well, he's trusting his ability, Pills. If most other people tend to leave it to the track rubbers in, but Nodsty has impressed so far this season, mate. Has very rarely missed the podium, hasn't he? So. Of course, the championship leader, as you did see early doors in the stream, and well, deservingly so. So, absolutely done a phenomenal job as the lad.
Yeah, no, he's been the standout really this season so far. France always shows how good he was. I mean, he is. Taking the fastest lap, taking pole and the race win, taking the Grand Slam.
The Grand
in
Slam.
the first race of the season. I mean, you can't knock that. So he's just carried on from there. Really, it's been steady, and that's all he has to do. Just maintain that lead at the top and take it to the line. So.
There you go. So, well,
Nodsty is always the one to look out for.
I do apologise, Pills, but yes, we are right. Yes, that was a bit of a banker lap because Bozza pulled right up. They're all pulling up. There's a 26.4. Nat Hammer with a 30.2. We've got Tollers out there as well. He is invalidated, unfortunately. We've got Brad Tay and Nodsty. Let's just see what is happening here, of course. Yes, Nodsty, the lead of the two Rockstar cars. So, not too sure if he got a toe towards the back end of that straight or the front end. Well, definitely not the front end of it because he's well and truly in front. And Nodsty is absolutely hammering this one. Let's just see what time he can do. This will be representative. Oh, it just keeps it green. Let's just see, Pillars. Let's just see. This will be the benchmark. It is a 23.2 on the medium, if you don't mind. He's probably got enough fuel to go again, mate, but you don't want to take too much life out of those meds. And he will know that, of course. And I dare say that is not a bad time, to be fair, to be setting on at the medium, of course. Very early doors in a Q2 session.
No, definitely. I think there's about 8 to 9 tenths delta gap as well between the mediums and the softs. I might be wrong, but I think last game it was that extreme. So
yeah.
Obviously that's the only reason why I look at that delta and go, well, maybe it is better that I do a medium one right at the back end of the session. But I mean, that time is a fantastic time on the medium tyres.
Yeah, definitely.
I mean, we all know how difficult it is to get the car around in one piece around here, especially through 10 and 11, and through 1 as well, because obviously turn 1 you get too much on the exit curve and you find yourself facing a wall somewhere. So
that microphone of yours, that headset, Pills, I think she's seen better days, mate. If you've got another one, no, it's bad, man. If you've got another one, chuck another one.
I think I do. Hang on.
Yeah, you're right. You do your thing. It sounded so shocking. I could barely understand you, let alone what the viewers could do at home. We do apologise, folks. Pillars working his... Oh, Snooey again. A double invalidation. So, yeah, invalidated towards the end of that last lap. And he's invalidated the start of this one. Unfortunate for the lad. He will go... Well, there's plenty of time, of course. And plenty of time. There you go. And as I say that, right on cue, 9 minutes remaining in this Q2 session. Darkness Abyss out there on an outlap, of course. Who else is out there? Tollers. And, well, let's just see what Tollers can do. There he is there. Yes, Tollers and Snooey, interestingly enough, both making their debuts. But, yes, Tollers as a reserve, Snooey as a full-time driver. But Tollers, here he comes. Macedonian's cousin. And let's just see if he can set a half-decent time here. And, yes, he certainly can with a 1 minute 22.4. I tell you what, since that last update, geez, these times are so different compared to what they were previous, of course. Yes, these boys would have been 21s. Yeah, way different. It's very, very different, of course. And, well, slowly, we're all getting back used to it, of course. But the cars are definitely slower. So, and that is so representative with those times, of course. But Darkness Abyss, here he goes, just to get himself underway in this Q2 session. Yes, Team Jaguar, that is Darkness Abyss. That green livery, number 8 is Mr. Darkness. And, whoa, very, very close to, well, having all 4-wheel off, but gathered it up just at the right time in this long run down to turn 3. And, yes, there he is. They're hard on the brakes. It's almost a very tricky apex, that one. You want to take as much curb on the inside. Oh, Mr. Muffler. And as I look at the chat at the wrong time, there is Mad G with his clever wit, of course, and Darkness Abyss. Whereabouts is he on track? Sector 2, he's got some traffic coming up, of course. That must be Nat Hammer, if I'm not mistaken, on an outlap. And yeah, I dare say he'll get well and truly out of his way. There he is there. And thank you, Nat. Away goes Darkness. Let's just see what he is at Sector 2. And he's at a 49.5. So, well, that almost gives us a reference point for every guy after Darkness, of course. It's something I should have done at the start, but yeah, did not. So Darkness Abyss, here he comes now, Sector 3. Now, these boys are running right on the very edge as Darkness Abyss testing the track limits mod in this game. But here he comes around that last corner now, and Darkness Abyss, yes, letterbox rear wing wide open. Let's just see what he can do. It is a 1 minute 22.998, and that is P3. So not too bad from the lad. So Johnny M4, well, it's got to that stage in Q2, hasn't it, folks, where most have set a lap. Guys who haven't are out there or just about to come out, and well, they're going to go whack, whack, and whack, and well, I'm going to lose my breath. As we welcome Rumbler 22. Thank you very much for the follow, mate. Hope you're well. This is Formula 4 Racing. This is the Australian division. And yes, we are at Albert Park. Always Johnny M4 just keeps that in the green on the black stuff. And here he goes. Mr. Johnny M4 had great qualifying pace does this guy have, but hasn't quite managed to, well, put together a race. Well, there you go. Oh, that's so true. You're asking the wrong bloke to say tricky names, but that is Shishki Foley. I hope I've said that right, but welcome. You are trying to get to 100 followers, of course. This is only a very, very new channel and a very, very new division, of course. Only 8 weeks old, believe it or not. Nearly at 100 followers, and we do appreciate absolutely everything you boys and girls do out there at home supporting us. But yes, Johnny M4, here he goes. So it is a 49.3. So he's about 3/10 up on, excuse me, on that time of, Tollers it was, I do believe. So, yeah, there you go. Just lost me train of thought there for a second. So, Johnny M4 around that, well, he's invalidated. As you go to pump him up, he's just put that one just outside the track limits, and that track map has gone red. So we'll go to Rip the Beans. Where is Rip the Beans? He's sort of at the start of his run. We've got Snooey out there as well, just getting his lap underway. Chasey Dane still in the pit lane. Johnny M4 and Old Boy. Well, Old Boy's had an off somewhere, and he has no front wing, of course. So, Brad Tate's had a bit of a spin. That was a nice pirouette from the man. Of course, Snooey is on a time run, and that would have hurt him somewhat, of course. Well, he navigated his way through that pretty well, but yeah, it would have cost him a little bit of time, I dare say. I'm hearing all sorts of noises, and I'm not too sure if he's back or if he's not. Bear with us, folks. Just try to fix this audio. Okay, well, I think Pillars is going to look for another headset because that one definitely is not working out for him. We've got Snooey still out there trying to set a valve. Oh, he's in the wall. I do apologise, folks, but Snooey is in the wall, facing the... Oh, there you go. Very, very strong. He's been disqualified for facing the wrong way. So, unfortunate from the Snowman. And there you go. Bozza has been collected. Why? Yeah, we do apologise, folks. We have some audio issues. Pillars' Pillars' headset's gone kaput, and I tried to fix them on my end, but it's just not going to happen. So I don't know where he is. Just flying a little bit solo, which is okay, but trying to sort out audio issues at the same time. I hope they're coming through, or my mic's coming through at the same time. Looks like it is. I can see that it is. Johnny M4 currently out there on a lap at the moment. Golf Racing is Mr. Johnny M4. And who else is out there? Got Chasey Dane, Chasey Rename, Chasey Payne, Chasey Rain, whatever you want to call him. He's out there on an out lap. Monster Energy and Johnny. He's just run wide. And there you go. So 50 odd seconds to get back to that start finish line. Plenty of time as Chasey Dane's not too far behind him. And, well, there you go. Monster Energy, give us a better camera, please, folks. Come on, there it is there, just so you can see exactly what that looks like. And there it is there, the Monster Energy livery. And not too bad, if I do say so myself. Darkness Abyss, quite comfortable with a 1 minute 22.9 in the pit lane. Says, you know what, I'll see you boys in Q3. Chasey yet to set a time. Johnny M4's got to make this one work, otherwise he will be out. We've got Rip the Beans. There he is. There he's back. And well, after going for a bit of a pit stop himself, we'll call it that anyway. Chasey Dane get himself underway. Where is Johnny M4? There he is there, and well, it's now or never, boys. They are in the danger zone. P11 through to 15, we will lose. And yes, unfortunately, well, old boy, I'm not too sure what happened with him either, folks. While we're trying to fix that audio, old boy has not set a time. He will be out as well. So yeah, Johnny M4 and Chasey Dane are the only two that can really shake up this running order, and we're going to keep a very, very close eye on them. They've spread themselves out quite nicely on track. So Johnny M4, here he goes, approaching the end of second sector, and that is a magenta sector, folks. Oh, how did that keep that? Well, there you go. I swear he bunny hopped that chicane. But anyway, he's allowed to continue. And, well, this could be the one that pulls Johnny well and truly safe and out of this drop zone. He's just got to navigate these last few corners, and we will flick to see how Chasey Dane's getting along. But I dare say Johnny M4 has done and enough to get himself through as Fabiank Loek. I don't know, I'm bad with names like that. I do apologise. If I've got that wrong, I do apologise. But welcome. Thank you for following. Yes. We're trying to get to 100. Well, I'm not too sure where we're at right now. I think maybe about 93, 94. But Johnny M4 sets a 1 minute 22.5 as Chasey Dane cannot pull himself out of that drop zone, unlike Johnny. But yes, Chasey Dane with a 1 minute 24.393. And we have our drop zone, folks. Brad Tay, Chasey Dane, Bozza. And yes, we did see Bozza, well, unsighted, collected Snooey. Snooey had lost it, tried to spin the car around, and just wrong timing, of course. And, well, they collided. I dare say there will be a report, but we do not go into that because that is for the stewards, of course. But yes, Chasey Dane, Bozza, Old Boy, and Snooey. So there's some decent names. Well, even though this whole grid is very, very well tightly packed, yes, some big names out of that session. And looking for a lightning start, those boys that got dropped out of that Q session. Beansy having a, well, Beansy loves that. He does that quite a bit, does the lad. He says that he's not too happy with the track, doesn't like it, this, that, and the other. Next thing you know, he's throwing it on top of the charts. Absolutely brilliant stuff there from Beansy. Yes, P1 in Q2 with a 1 minute 21.5. Interesting to note, Nodsty, Macedonian, and Nat Hammer will start on the medium, of course, and the rest of the lads from P7 up will start on the softs. As I did touch on, Brad Tay out, Chasey out, Bozza, Old Boy, and Snooey. So there you go. I've got Blue Dog in the chat. Blue Dog, Oxide. I remember that. I remember that conversation. Yes. Okay, so Q3. 12-minute session. And who will be first? I reckon it'll be Fury. Fury, do you reckon? It usually is. But I think Tollers has beaten him to it. Oh, no, that is a rock star, lads. So Nodsty. And there you go. Yes, we've got the Aston Martin safety car, and it is only there for certain tracks, apparently. So there you go. The Aston Martin safety car here at Melbourne, Australia. And fantastic. We get rid of that red Merc, and we get something different to look at, of course. And, well... worry about the nitty gritties of the legalities of the safety car, but well, at least the colour's right. well, yes, and you are true to your word, mate. You have done that before in the past, Snewy. Snewy just saying in the chat, he's looking for a driver of the day. Can't do it starting in the top 10, so might as well start outside of it. And do claim as many positions as he possibly can. And Snewy, same sort of deal, mate. Still put the driver of the day vote in the chat, of course. And yeah, get your votes in, or whoever. All the viewers get your votes in when the time is right. That is usually roughly around about 10 minutes to go during the race. But yeah, Nodsty out there on an outlap. First to blink is the lad Rockstar Racing, the only Rockstar Racing lad in the top 10, which is very, very interesting to say indeed. We've got 3 Jaguars, we've got 2 Hello Kitties, the 2 reserve lads doing a bit of a flex. Tollers and Crazy Kiwi, fantastic stuff. And Nat Hammer, the Monster Energy Racing driver. So Nodstick getting us underway here, Melbourne Albert Park Street Circuit. So number 15. So yes, that is a great livery. We did have Bahrain, of course, a few weeks ago, and these cars, these liveries under lights. Okay. Bear with me for 1 second. I've got to get somebody in. 1 second, guys. To apologise, folks. Pillars is having some major issues. So, yeah, I think, well, a sub is coming in. I'm pretty sure it might be... Servers are down for... Oh, there you go. So, looks like I am flying solo. And, well, we will smash this one out. So, there you go. Great job, Pills, the assistant to the assistant. No, I'm only joking, mate. I'm only joking. Sub was ready to come in, but Cody's put a stop to that. Well, I mean, unfortunate, folks, but didn't get the pleasure of listening to the beautiful sounds of the new Portonian, and that is Mr. Droftas. We are watching Macedonian. Here he comes now. Hello Kitty racing driver. Yes, pot number 2. And let's just see what time he can do, of course. Only his first run in a Q3 session, and he sets a 1 minute 22.751. There is Johnny M4 right behind him, and he is invalidated, so we won't get too excited. Pillars has just rejoined me, folks. Let's just see if we can hear him. Maybe not. So, yeah, Johnny M4, we're about to see he's just getting himself underway. Tollers is in Sector 2. Crazy Kiwi is a bit further along than those two, yet to set a time. So we're going to stay with Crazy Kiwi, of course. Yes, the reserve livery. And, well, it is actually quite good, the reserve one, because they do stick out. I mean, they all do. They've all got to be different, and it's very difficult with 4 players in each team, of course. And, yeah, very unique here at a Formula 4. But on a quality qualifying run. Very difficult to pick up where they're all at because there are so many similar coloured dots. But this season here at Formula 4, of course, yes, they are all very different and they do stick out. But when they're all on track like those Jaguar boys, and there's 3 of them nose to stern, it makes it a little bit difficult. But yeah, so far so good. Smakinda getting himself underway for this run. I do apologise. I do believe I've just missed Macedonian's lap. Yes, I have. It was a 1 minute 22.277, and that puts him at P4 at the moment. Johnny M4 has said, nah, you know what? I got to go again. So he's going to go and put a fresh set of rubber on, and there you go. So he's gone into the pit lane. Nat Hammer, let's just see what Nat Hammer can do. The sole remaining Monster Energy. I tell you what, this lad's doing a phenomenal job this season, and well, his fuel light is absolutely screaming at him. He needs to set this lap. He needs to make it valid because, well, I mean, there's still 6 minutes remaining, but if he's going to send it, oh, I'll tell you what, it'll be touch and go whether he can get out for another one. So here he comes, Nat Hammer. It's all or nothing, and let's just see what time he can do. I dare say he'll be around about the Macedonian time, and there you go, 1 minute 22.242, and that is P5. Well, there you go, 8. Well, my maths is a bit shocking, but whatever thousandths that was, I cracked myself up. So I think it may be 15 thousandths, and well, quicker than you can blink an eye, of course, folks. We've got Macedonian out there just doing a bit of a cool down. We've got Smakinda currently out there, 3/10 up on his previous best time, and well, getting his lap under. Well, hang on a minute. Oh, sorry, folks. My screen just went a bit funny. Okay. So the beautiful lull in the Q3 where the majority of the grid is in the pit lane waiting for that track to rubber in ever so more, and well, they're just biding their time, being patient, and well, there you go. So Smakinda is out there on a run. I know he's not, he's on a cooldown lap. I did say that before. Go to Darkness Abyss, Nat Hammer. Screen. No, you're not going to beat me today. No way, no way, no way, no way. Come on, Cody's. Come on, you can do it, son. Anyway, we're going to cheer this crap along. But yes, Johnny M4 out there on an outlap, yet to set a time. So, well, 3 3/4 minutes remaining in this session. I do apologise, folks. And yeah, we're sort of having a bit of difficulties in the background a little bit, trying to sort them out as we're going along. And yeah, well, Snooey. Unfortunate from you, mate. But yeah, you'll start where you start and you'll finish, of course, where you finish. And anything can happen in Grand Prix racing. We all know that. The races are long. But it did not look the best, Snoo. And I'm sure, well, I think it was Bozza. Bozza might have something to say about that. But that is obviously for the stewards. Rip the Beans has invalidated. Nodsty is sitting there in the pit lane in P2. Smakinda, well, on top of the time charts, excuse me, by 2.5 tenths. Macedonian in the pit lane. So, well, the 2 reserve boys have just been joined by Mr. Fury as Tollers has invalidated. Well, it's an outlap, so it doesn't really matter. But he's done a 1 minute 22.5. And so that's just about 1.5 tenths off, excuse me, Darkness Abyss. And in turn, he's not too far off Nat Hammer. So these times, a couple of tenths, and anything can happen. And as we do say that, Tollers throws that one in the pit lane. So there you go, folks. Crazy Kiwi on an outlap. And I did see Droftas had joined the party. I'm just going to give him a bit of a shout out. Droft, are you there, mate?
I'm here, mate. I was just letting you do your thing.
There he is, folks. And that is the new Portonian, Mr. Droftas. Welcome to the commentary box, my friend. And yeah, well, it has happened once in the past before.
Yeah, you saved me once, but now I'm stepping in for incompetent assistance, aren't I? So
Yeah, that's right. That's exactly right. So, well, I mean, what do you say about that anyway? 1 3/4 minutes remaining in Q3. Crazy Kiwi wants to do something about this running order. He's going to get his lap underway very, very soon. And there he goes. Johnny M4. Well, excuse me. So that was a 1 minute 21.8. I do apologise, Johnny. I did miss that when you said that. And that puts him in P4. Excuse me. And Tollers.
McKinder's just starting a faster run.
What's happened with Tollers? Has he done that in the pit lane? Yes, he's quite happy with his 1 minute 22.5. No time to get out there again. Of course. And there you go. So he will minimum be at P8. Let's just see if he can stay there, of course. But with Crazy Kiwi out there looking to improve, and he's just over a tenth quicker than his previous best. And, well, I'll tell you what, he only needs to be about half a tenth quicker than his previous best, and he will jump Tollers, of course. But Mr. Fury Strat currently out there as well.
1,000th. Rip the Beans has just gone P1 by 1,000th of a second.
Oh, he has two. Have a look how close that is. And they're still both on laps, I do believe, Droff. The checkered flag has not fallen yet. Excuse me. If
McKinder is a tenth and a half up at the moment, coming up to Sector 3.
Yeah, we'll flick to that in a second.
He's looking to take it back into Team Jaguar battle for pole.
He certainly is, mate. He certainly is. And there was a bit of a talk in the team chat, of course, and great camaraderie from those boys. But yes, Crazy Kiwi puts a 1 minute 21.789, and that is P4, and he's lost it. Kiwi has lost the back end of the car. Turn 2 in the wall. Lucky is to keep all four wheels. And that is him done. P4 at the moment. Who is next? I do apologise. Nodsty has crossed the line with a 21.7. He will start. Well, no, he won't. He can go again, of course. That is P3 at the moment. We've got Rip the Beans has invalidated on his cooldown. Smakinda, nearly 2 tenths up there, Droft.
Yeah, it's a great lap from him. Just on board with Macedonian, who seems to be the next person who can do a lap to make any difference. He needs 5 temps to get up to P3 because it's tight for 3rd, 4th and 5th. He was a 10th up in Sector 1, he's coming up to Sector 2 now. Whether he can keep this valid, because this is where you've just got to throw it in. Make or break.
There you go. And of course, you being a European Pot 1 European Hello Kitty driver, of course, Droftas, and you get rid of one biased opinion in Pillars with the golf racing. We'll bring in another one, Droftas, with the Hello Kitty boys, of course. No, I'm only joking. But it is teams.
I won't hide it though.
Yeah, that's right. Oh, there you go. Macedonian just kept that in within the track limits. He sets a 1 minute 22.1, and that is P6 for now. Nat Hammer, what's he got to say about that? Nat Hammer down that finish straight, crosses the line. It's a 122.157. So not quite enough, but very, very close to Macedonian. But Darkness Abyss is about to... Well, that checkered flag has fallen. He will not improve. That is it. That is done. So Smakinda on pole by 1.5 tenths over Rip the Beans. I'll tell you what, those Jaguar boys doing their thing, aren't they, Droft? Jesus, 1 and 2, not bad at all. Just to knock Nodsty off the front row is an achievement in itself, of course. Yes, he's done a phenomenal job, as we did say earlier doors, of course, in the stream. But yeah, those Jaguar boys are starting to come alive.
They are. They started the season slowly, but the last few weeks they've... Rip the Beans especially has got a couple of pole positions. Smakinda's obviously newer to the team, but let's just hope they continue to hit each other on track. That'll be ideal.
Well, I mean, for your sake, yes, definitely. It sounds easy. How are you, mate? Very well, my friend. And a couple of tech issues, of course, but I sorted them out, worked our way through them, and we're going to get this race underway, of course. But that is the running order, folks. Smakinda on top with a 1 minute 21.246. Not far behind his Beansy, his teammate, but Nodsty, there it is there, nearly half a second off. And Nodsty is one of the lads, I do believe, starting on the medium. So the strategic battle ain't done just yet, folks, of course. And remember, there was only 3 drivers that had the mediums on in that Q2 session. And I do believe one of them definitely was Nodsty. So that'll tell us in a little bit. I'm going to I'm going to do this running order. I'm going to try my best to get this, capture this, the start, of course. And well, I don't want to prey on a safety car, but trying to do a replay, and well, that's the only opportunity I'm going to get to show one. But yeah, we'll just keep our fingers crossed. And I've been practicing. I was training during the week there, Droftas, and pretty excited when I managed to work it out.
Well, we'll see if it happens.
Yeah.
But like you said about mediums, you've got Nodsty on mediums in P3, Macedonian in P5, and Nathammer P6. So Johnny ideally needs to get past Nodsty so he doesn't get caught in a medium train.
That's exactly right, mate.
Because those softs will be a lot faster at the start. So
yeah, they don't
I can see the front two driving away if Nodsty stays third, unless there's a safety car. But
yeah, you're probably right.
I have
there,
no
mate.
idea which is the better strategy, to be honest. I've not done this race on this game, so I am learning today, same as you.
We have the privilege of the bird's eye view, of course, and well, I was talking about it before there, Droftas. We do have the Aston Martin safety car, and well, not one to harp on the safety car scenario, but it'd be good to see it. Good to see the different one out there. The one that's been allocated this season, of course, that we're only going to see periodically. But yeah, we get to see it here at Melbourne, Australia. But we'll go through this running order as we look at them. And Smakinda, Team Jaguar on pole. There he is there, closely followed by his teammate in Rip the Beans. Nodsty in P3. There he is there, Rockstar Energy Racing. And that is Mr. Nodsty. Johnny M4, Golf Racing in P4, ironically enough. Macedonian, the highest Hello Kitty runner, and sitting in P5, if you don't mind. On the medium, same with Nodsty, as you did touch on, Droft, and Nat Hammer, Monster Energy Racing. And yes, there they are there. And Nat warming those mediums ever so slightly. Don't want to take too much life out of them, but they do take a little bit longer than the softs to warm up. But they're usually pretty good by the time they get to to that second last corner anyway. As Darkness Abyss, Team Jaguar, P7, great showing and qualifying from him. Tollers, the reserve, P8, Crazy Kiwi. Well, he's done a phenomenal job to minimise that 5-place grid penalty, of course, and he's in P9, so obviously qualifying in 4th position. Mr. Fury Strat, P10, and well, the Hello Kitty driver himself, Brad Tay, Rockstar Energy in P11. Chasey Dane, or Chasey Payne, Chasey rename, so many different names he has. But Chasey Dane in P12, Monster Energy Racing, and there he is there with that red helmet, can't miss him. Bozza in P13, Golf Racing, and Old Boy, well, there you go. There's only 3 lads opted the hards, and Old Boy is one of them, and very interesting. Excuse me, Old Boy, P14 in Rockstar Racing, closely followed by, Snooey, the newest kid on the block, in P15 on the soft compound. The Stig, Team Jaguar, P16. Suicide 5 in P17. Blue Dog on the hard compound, trying to make amends for that qualifying session that's, well, very uncharacteristic by Blue Dog anyway. In P18, Bopton, P19, and Kyotonic will round us out in P20.
Those hard runners will be an interesting one, because obviously they're going to take a long time to get up to speed.
It'll be one to watch, that's for sure, but I mean,
the optimal strategy on the screen was soft hard, that just showed me there while you were on that formation lap. It'll be interesting to see if they can pull off the hard soft. They'll be quick at the end.
Well, here we go. We've got 1 light, 2 lights, 3 lights, 4 lights. We've got 5 lights, but we wait for some revs. And we are go here, Melbourne Albert Park Grand Prix. Fantastic launch by the 2 Team Jaguars. Rip the Beans has got ahead of his teammate, P1. Smakinda into P2. There you go. Macedonian has jumped up a couple of spots into P3. Johnny M4 down a couple. And there you go. So far, so good through turn 1, Droftas. And they are underway. Yes, there are some couple of position changes. Blue Dog is up, well, down into P19. Blue Dog up into P18. And there you go. Kyotonic from last to the grid is trying to make amends around the outside of Suicide 5, if you don't mind, and up into 15th place.
was a great start, nice and clean for the first few corners. Nodsty actually had a really good start, and Smakinda didn't get off the line originally, but Nodsty had nowhere to go, and ultimately it cost him, because Macedonian just snuck in where the room was. But Rip the Beans nearly lost it coming out of turn 2, while you were looking at the rest of the pack, but very clean from the guys for the first sector.
Well, I'll tell you what, Darkness Abyss is getting real racy behind Nat Hammer. He was very, very lucky not to lose a bit of his front wing there and got in a bit hot and nearly kissed the back of Nat Hammer there, but he's right up his gearbox. Yes, you can see that yellow fuel light on Darkness. He has short-filled that car, preying on a safety car in order for him to make it home. And, well, there you go. So he's in 7th position, has not changed from the starting grid, of course, and has held stations, so to speak. Toller's up in, stayed P8, I do believe. And Tollers is doing a fantastic job. Crazy Kiwi has lost out ever so slightly down into 13th. But, well, there you go. Bozza in P10. He's all over the back of Fury here. And these, well, there you go. Fury spun. Oh, no. And they're both out. Oh, there you go. There's 3 cars there. I do believe there is 3 cars there. And there is 2 Hello Kitty cars. And, well, that is not good for Team Hello Kitty as Fury lost it and collected Bozza and Snooey as well. So, ouch. There you go. So, well, Snooey is the casualty. And we have a safety car. So you know what that means, Droft?
Well, that means you get to see a replay.
We get to see it. Let's talk our way. You'll have to look at the stream, Droft, because I think that's the only way you're going to see it. But I'm going to do an instant replay of that starting sequence. Let's just see if this works. And they are underway. Yes, there are some couple of position changes.
Fingers crossed.
Blue Dog is up, down into P19. Blue Dog up into P18. And there you go. Kyotonic from last of the grid is trying to make amends around the outside
some replay,
of Suicide 5, if you don't mind, and up into 15th place.
Unfortunate, so...
Anyway, we live to fight another day.
On to week 4 of trying to get a replay at the start.
Well, we're nearly there. I was just maybe a few seconds off. Oh, well.
No, it was...
That's all trial and error,
very good
folks.
for the first one. Old Boy is in 9th on the hards, which, with this safety car, is going to help him.
Yeah, but we do know, though, Droft, the launch off the safety car restart, as you're well and truly aware, is just the hards never work. You'd end up losing about three positions if you're lucky, usually on a restart, and spend the next 5-6 laps trying to crawl them back, of course, just because, I mean, he's got the Stig behind him on pretty much almost brand new softs. And then you've got the medium runners, of course. But, yeah, Old Boy, the highest of the hard compound runners. What a start from him. Now, I'll tell you what, folks, let's just get these position changes up for you guys and girls at home. And Old Boy up 5 places. Have a look at Kyotonic from P20, if you don't mind, up 9 positions. And unfortunately, the biggest loser out of all that, after his spin, was Mr. Fury Strat. And there he is, down 8 places, of course. So, well, safety car conditions, this field will bunch up, and we'll get us underway. And let's have a look at this safety car. Perfect opportunity to have a look at that Aston Martin. It's the first time I've actually seen it on track in this game. And, well, Team Jaguar right behind it. So that's a photo opportunity if I've ever seen one, mate.
I can't get excited about safety cars, I'm sorry.
I'm not getting excited.
It's like train spotting, Gav. You're that guy on the end of the station with the camera on you.
Yeah, telling him to toot his horn.
Whether it's green, red, pink or blue, I just don't want to see them.
Yeah, fair enough. I don't want to see them either, but yeah, that's not what I meant. You know what I meant. We're praising a safety car. Definitely not. But, yeah, well, the Aston Martin...
That's where it's come to. You need to change the stream sort of description to safety car appreciation stream.
Yeah. Or appreciation day, I think, maybe.
I think Zandvoort was appreciation day for safety cars, wasn't it?
Well, Chasey Payne caused all that one, didn't he?
Enough.
Mr. Chasey Payne. He's never lived it down, and the good lad. I mean, I've sort of known Chasey for approximately 3 gaming seasons anyway. So, yeah, very rarely he has an incident, and, well, when he does do an incident, Doesn't do things in half, Troftas. And there's been a couple there that he wants to forget. And of course, a couple of lads, and every now and then throwing in a sneaky reminder. So, poor lad, great guy, but staying at P12 at the moment. So he's held his station, of course. Yes, P12, Kyotonic. What a start. So yeah, those two hard runners, you are spot on. Old Boy up 5, Kyotonic up 9. So, I mean, it could be just the luck of the draw of the start, but I'll tell you what, one's luck of the draw, two, maybe, I don't know.
It's just sensible driving, isn't it? You know, picking your opportunities where the soft guys are trying to pass the mediums and someone gets pushed wide. You go for that gap, you take the opportunity when others are fighting. It's quite often happens on the first lap of a race. Someone thinks, oh, I'll get him into this next corner, and they end up 2 places back just because it's lap 1 and everybody's bunched up.
Yeah, that's
It'll
right.
be the same after the safety car in this lap, but the start-finish line here is perfect for a hard runner because by the time they hit the start-finish line where they can be passed, they're at turn 1.
Yeah, that's right.
So there's a good chance that those guys will stay in position, and if they can hold on and get DRS in 2-3 laps time, they've got a good chance of being very fast at the end.
That's exactly right. So, well, we're about to get underway under green conditions again as that safety car that's ripped the beans has to wait for that safety car to be in the pit lane, of course, past the safety car line, which is usually the second line after the pit lane entry. But Beans, has he gone? No, he hasn't gone yet. He's got up to the start-finish line. There you go. He is gone. He just caught Smakinda napping. Smakinda, well, hesitated, and Macedonian has seen his opportunity and has to give that place back. Yes, he took that before the start-finish line. So hand that position back, and he has done so as Nodsty up in a P4. Johnny M4, P5. So Macedonian, Hello Kitty, his shoulders must be sore. He's right up there. Up there again is the lad. Nat Hammer in P5. Fantastic start from him. I do believe he's gained 1 position. Darkness Abyss up 1 as well. Johnny M4, there you go, has down 1 position from that restart, and he's being harassed by, there you go, Darkness and Johnny M4 both got by him, and the Stig is next. So, juicy restart. These boys, so far so good. Nice and clean as Crazy Kiwi's trying to make a move on Blue Dog, but Blue Dog shuts the door, and there you go. P15 and 16. This is battle for. These are 2 hard runners battling it out on track, albeit for 15th and 16th. But that doesn't matter. Kiwi's going the inside. Blue Dog's on the outside. Well, this is ballsy stuff, folks. Who's got the bigger set? Blue Dog sends it, and there you go. Kiwi sent it, and Blue Dog had to lift ever so slightly. Blue Dog thinks I'll live to fight another day, and it's probably a wise decision as we go back up to where Darkness is, all over the back of Nat Hammer. Same with Tollers and Johnny M4. This is a ring-a-ding-ding, folks, and fantastic stuff. Great racing, as I think Nat Hammer is about to get a move sent on him by Darkness Abyss. I tell you what, look at this straight line speed. And no, Nat Hammer holds his line, probably cooking a little bit of ERS, and yes, he has 60%, whereas Darkness Abyss almost has a full tank. So that is going to come handy in his pocket when he needs it the most there, Droft.
Yeah, a lot going on there. I'm just on board with the Stig, who's tried to go around the outside of Tollers. He's all over the back of him, but I'm not sure whether he's going to get this done. Tollers had some great defending going into there. But with these two battling, it's keeping those hard guys behind. That's what I'm keeping an eye on. Old Boy on those hards is the one to watch for me, for making big gains at the end.
Yeah, he definitely will be rapid with that soft compound towards the end, of course. But, here he goes. Old Boy getting real races you did touch on, and the Stig has taken his focus off Tollers, and, he's focused all over Old Boy because Old Boy is harassing him. Have a look at this, and let's just see if Old Boy can get this move done. The Stig not really cooking. They're on roughly about the same ERS, folks, about 50%. And so probably by the time they're ready to make all the moves about to be done, I think they probably both would have cooked their tanks. Let's just hope that's not the case. But Darkness Abyss and Nat Hammer battle resumed. And, well, DRS is enabled, but I don't think he's got it just yet. He'll pick it up after turn 1, of course. And, yep, let's just see if he... Well, there you go. Darkness Abyss is around. He got turn 1 all wrong. And he is out of this Grand Prix. And we have just seen that as it happened, folks. And that is a safety car. That is a safety car, and Darkness Abyss is out of this Grand Prix.
Well, it's just unfortunate there again for Darkness. But just before that safety car,
that is a safety car, and Darkness Abyss is out of this Grand Prix.
He just got back inside the DRS. So those two are going to benefit hugely from this, because the second restart with those softs, I'm not sure how long they can last, but they're going to be coming up to being the same pace, if not slower now than the mediums.
Yeah,
by the time the safety car restarts.
That's right. So
it wouldn't surprise me if someone near the bottom that's on softs takes a chance. Maybe the Stig. If the Stig can take a chance there from 10th, I mean, he's stuck behind 2 hard guys, so he's not going to benefit at all by staying on those softs.
Yeah, that's right. That's exactly right. Yeah, and they're not going to last too much longer than like what you just said. So, yeah, probably get rid of them now. It's probably the smartest option. I mean, usually the safety car is a free pit stop. And depending on obviously what's happening in the Grand Prix, of course, but you would almost tip that everyone on the soft runners would obviously get rid of them, and you'd probably be almost contemplating if you were running the mediums as well, and could just neutralise the Grand Prix, put a brand new set of meds on, and then do a medium soft from this point on towards the end of the Grand Prix. We're only at lap 7 of 29 here, folks, so anything can happen, and still early doors, of course. So yes, the mandatory pit stop has been done by most, and there you go. So Rip the Beans and Smakinda coming out on that hard compound. Same with Johnny M4 and the Stig. So, well, maybe they heard your call there, Droft.
Yeah, well, Tollers and Brad Tay were the only two that stayed out on the softs, so they're the only 2 soft runners we've got now. Tollers managed to pick up a multiple warnings time penalty under a safety car, which is impressive, to be fair.
Yeah, he got
I don't see many of those.
He got a 3-second time penalty, and Bopton has probably copped as speeding in the pit lane one. He has a 5-second time penalty, does the Bopton, and well, there you go. So, well, I'm just assuming, but yeah, 3 seconds for Tollers and 5 seconds for Bopton, and that is if he got it done. Well, I mean, I'm assuming that's the only way you could get a 5-second, or unless he did hit someone behind a safety car, but it would have popped up on our screen, of course. But
it was speeding in the pit. It did pop up.
Oh, there you go.
It was speeding in the pit lane.
The eyes are working fantastically today, Droft. But yes, well, Crazy Kiwi, I tell you what a recovery from a little bit of a lackluster start. He was up there in P9 when we got this one underway, and he fell back down to P13, P14, I do believe. He's come in, put a set of hards on, and finds himself up into P8, of course. And this is the second safety car we have had, albeit, well, 8 laps old, of course. And this track usually does tend to do that. There is 2 corners in particular, folks, and those 2 corners are indeed turn 11 and 12. And they call that Wait. It's actually named Wait as Walker. Walker has just subscribed. Thank you very, very much, Walker. How are you, my friend? I hope you're well. Thank you for your Twitch Prime subscription. Subscription. Thank you very, very much, mate. I hope you're well, and much, much appreciated, my friend. But yes, we have neutralised this Grand Prix, and there is your boy, mate, Macedonian. Team Hello Kitty, P1. Nodsty, well, there you go, P2. Started P3, did the lad. Nat Hammer, well, he's always there and thereabouts. The lad never gives up. I touch on it every week. He finds himself in P3. Tollers, P4. Old boy from, well, way back there, up into P5. Great start by him. Have a look at Suicide 5. Well, there you go. Living by his name, or his name that he named himself anyway, Mr. Altitude. finds himself up in a P6. Crazy Kiwi, P7 is doing a great job, is the Kiwi man. Brad Tay in P8. Mr. Inconspicuous, 7-lap-old softs. So him and Tollers would probably want to get rid of them pretty quickly. Mr. Fury Strat, P9, Team Hello Kitty. So yeah, we've got 3 Hello Kitties in the top 10. We've got 3 Rockstar Racing in the top 10 and 2 Reserve Boys in the top 10 as well. And of course, Nat Hammer, Monster Energy. But have a look at from 11 down, and well, we have lost a Hello Kitty car and a Jaguar. But yes, we've got 3 Golf Racing and 3 Jaguars and 2 Monsters. So I tell you what, this Grand Prix is far from over, and these boys are definitely here to make amends. So Rip the Beans and Smakinda qualified first and second. Let's not forget that. They opted to get rid of that soft compound, put the hards on, and they are the first of the hard runners with the freshest rubber, of course, and they will be running towards the end, to the end, excuse me. So the safety car is in this lap, is it? Yes, it certainly is.
It is in this lap, yeah.
It certainly is. So Macedonian's real close to it. And there you go. He has to wait for the safety car to get past that point. He cannot go. He cannot go until that safety car is there. As Luke West 2299, thank you very much for the follow, mate. Much appreciated. Hope you're well. Formula 4 Racing. This is the Australian division, and Macedonian has just got us underway. Nodsty P2, Nat Hammer up into 3rd place. Great start by the boys. Tollers P4. Oh boy, great start from the start. As Tollers gets a 5-second time penalty for ignoring a yellow flag. Whoa, that is very, very strange. As Brad Tay and Blue Dog fighting over 8th and 9th. 2 Rockstar boys. Talk about team orders. Is there any? I'm not too sure. But yes, there you go. Mr. Fury Strat moved himself up 1 into P9. Rip the Beans up 1 into P10. And same with Smakinda. Bopton after the restart. Great restart. But does have that time penalty to boot. So, tell you what. So far, so good, Joff. Very, very clean restart, which is what we love to see.
Yeah, a couple of things to pick up on just the end of that safety car here. Tollers did get an illegal overtake because he passed before the safety car line, then didn't give the position back for whatever reason. That's where that 5 seconds has come from. Old Boy picked up the 5 second because Kyotonic hit him under the safety car, but Kyotonic came in and went on the mediums. He got his wing changed. And at the safety car restart, Johnny decided that he would do donuts on the start-finish line, and that's why he's so far back at the moment. He had a little spin coming out of the final corner, but Nodsty is pressing Macedonian now. Just before the safety car came in, he was faster and catching Macedonian, but those front 3, I can't see them being separated by much more than DRS for the remainder of this.
I'll tell you what, who's come alive. Nat Hammer. Nat Hammer has certainly come alive. I mean, out of that last corner, he was all over the back of Nodsty. Nodsty sort of put the head down a little bit and has sort of regained his focus and got that little bit of a gap again. But I'll tell you what, this top 3 battle is getting juicy. Macedonian, Nodsty, Nat Hammer. Tollers is Macedonian's cousin in real life. And there you go. In P4, he finds himself. But on 10-lap-old Softstroft, they must feel like absolute rubbish. Suicide 5 up in a P5 and doing a fantastic job is the lad. 2 Hello Kitties in the top 5. Great stuff. Crazy Kiwi, P6 Blue Dog. Well, there you go. P7 Fury finds himself in P8, and the 2 Jaguar boys, the qualified first and second, 9th and 10th.
They're still in this race.
No,
they just
definitely
need to keep their head down, not get caught in anything. You know, not try and get too desperate in coming back. I can imagine there's going to be another safety car. We've had 2 in the first 10 laps, so there's probably going to be another one, which is why Tollers, I'm guessing, has stayed out. I think he's hedging his bets on a 3rd safety car, because otherwise he's dropping down to behind Chasey Dane.
Yeah, that's right.
Where that gap is.
Let's just see if Tollers box. Yeah, he's throwing it in the pit lane now, so he's had enough of them softs. 11-lap-old softs, if you don't mind, and he's had enough. Enough is enough, and be interesting to see what rubber well, I mean, what would you throw on from here, Droff? The hards? Definitely. I mean, the mediums would be touch and go.
Well, if he's managed to get the softs for 10 laps, he could probably drag the mediums out till the end if he's sensible, but they won't have any pace. I'd go hards from there.
Yeah,
he should have boxed when the rest of the soft guys did. That was the mistake.
Yeah, I think so too, mate, because he finds himself now still in the pit lane. He's put the mediums on and he's down in 14th place, folks. We'll go to Rip the Beans and Smakinda. There they are there, working beautifully together, fighting their way through. It's almost as if they're taking the positions one by one together, and that's exactly... Look at Smakinda all over the back of Rip the Beans. Rip the Beans and Smakinda, two Jaguar boys looking to take Blue Dog almost exactly the same time. Let's just see how they navigate this. Well, almost nose to stern. Smakinda with a tank slapper is starting to get pressured by Bopton, and Bopton, well, after that restart, has come alive himself on 4 lap old mediums, folks. The guys around him won't need to stop, but Bopton, they're going to be hurting towards the end, those mediums. The top 4, 5 runners will most likely need to stop again, I dare say. Even the top 6, I dare say, top 7, excuse me, we'll just keep adding to the list. Top 7 will all need to stop again, and well, the rest is as you see it. So, in actual fact, Beans and Smakinda technically a net 1 and 2 at the moment.
They are, unless there's another safety car. And
yes, that's
Bozza
the big
is around, and he has no wing at all on the front of that car. He's around, and he is actually going to be coming up to being lapped. So it's gone from looking pretty decent to him for... Well, it just looks like it's over now. He's going to come out behind the rest of that pack a lap down.
Well,
that car's almost undrivable.
Sorry, Walker has just cheered. What's he done? 70 and 25. That is...
That's 100, Gav.
Well, no, it's not quite. It's 95. It's a bizarre number. It's a bizarre number, but... And yes, he does sound different. He does sound different, Zerks. Yes, we are blessed with the new Portonian pillars. His KFC mic, I think he called it last week, has gone kaput. And, well, yeah, he had to forfeit it. And, well, he's out of the box. Droftas comes in, and away we go, Melbourne Grand Prix. So, yeah, Kyotonic is looking at the Stig at the moment. Kyotonic is going to send it. No, he's not. No, he's a bit too far back for that. And, well, the Stig in front on the hard compound. So, I'll tell you what, Kyo want to make amends with these mediums while they're still a little bit fresh. And we have Bozza. Is that Bozza just getting out of the way of people? It certainly is. Bozza finds himself down the back, a lap down, and, oh, unfortunate for the Bozman. But, well, he's a trooper, and he still keeps going. And, yeah, he finds himself with no front wing in the pit lane. And dare say that is a front wing change. New fresh set of tyres, and away he goes. yeah.
Smakinda's in the pit. He's just changing a wing, so something's gone on there, because obviously he was coming through with Rip the Beans, but now he's going on to mediums, and he's down in 14th.
Exactly right.
So
there,
that
mate.
puts an end to his charge through. But Rip the Beans, while we were talking, is gone up to P7. Fury Strat's next up the road for him. And Aus Div and Macedonian still can't be separated, but there's just no room to pass by the look of things.
Well, I mean, yeah, that's right. They've started to put a little bit of a gap on Nat Hammer there, but Suicide 5 up into P4 on, well, he hasn't, they're still the same tyres he started this Grand Prix on, folks. Those top 4 have not stopped at all. Same rubber from the start of the Grand Prix. So Macedonian and Nodsti are starting to gap Nat Hammer ever so slightly. Suicide 5 has got by Crazy Kiwi. Not too sure if Crazy has got some issues, but might just be that hard compound. They are definitely the slower of the 3 compounds available, of course. But they just take forever to fire up around here. Yes, you get so many laps out of them, but just lose a lot of lap time, which is, at the end of the day, we're all trying to make it around as many laps as quick as possible, and that's where the downside of the hard compound falls into play, of course. But Nodsti, well, there you go. Well, what happened there? Macedonian's
lost the front of the wing.
Oh, there you go. I'm not too sure
Wing's
what
gone.
happened, but wing has gone. I just seen the end of that. Wing up in the air. There you go. No nose cone, and Macedonian will need to box and get rid of that nose. And well, not too sure what happened there, mate. Whether he just lost it himself and in the wall, wings everywhere, and well, he will need to pit. That's definitely called his pit stop for him. And Suicide 5 right behind that as well. And I'll tell you what, he's going to benefit as well. So Suicide 5 will be the lead Hello Kitty car here. Suicide 5 being a pot 4 driver, doing a great job this Grand Prix. I know it's not one of his favourite tracks. He's not a fan of Australia, to be fair. He finds himself up in a P4. Just keeping his nose clean there, Droft. And, well, anything can happen, mate.
Yeah, well, that couldn't have come at a worse time for Macedonian because that's right on the half-distance point
Yeah,
of the race. So
that's right.
softs are now going to be a real stretch to get, as we saw with Tollers. They just don't go more than 10 laps. So he's going to be preying on the safety car. So he's Suicide 5's nearly hit the back of him there.
Yeah, well, I'm on Rip the Beans at the moment. Rip the Beans is looking at Fury as Macedonian peels into the pit lane, but that's soft.
Crazy Kiwi's got Suicide.
He certainly has. What a launch out of that last corner Kiwi got. But Suicide 5 is all over the back of him, and they have to tuck in. There is no place for a pass in turn 1 or turn 2 here at Melbourne, Australia. But yes, there is in turn 3, and Suicide 5 needs to be close enough, and he's just not. Just ever so slightly too far back. And Kiwi keeps that third place, and well, Suicide 5 will have to use the track to his advantage further down the road, I dare say, Droft. But Rip the Beans, after that restart, finds himself up into P6 and doing a great job keeping his nose clean, just picking them off one by one. And for a guy that was talking, for a guy that was talking in the Discord before saying how much he disliked this one, he's not doing too bad at all, mate.
Just keeping his nose clean, picking up from other people's mistakes. It looks like team orders there. Good job, lads. Letting Fury go through. Just Suicide needs to defend from Rip the Beans, I imagine. Smakinda is coming back through quite quickly. He's on the back of Brad Tay as well, down in 14th position. But until these pit stops now for the top runners, which I can't imagine them being 3-4 laps time. The Stig's out. Stig's out.
Well, there you go. That has done that for him as we welcome a new follower. Lord the Mercy 505. Thank you for following, mate. It's got to be a he. Well, whoever, I shouldn't have done that. But anyway, thank you for following. Not too sure what number follower you are, but we are fastly approaching follower number 100, of course, which is a bit of a feat for us, of course. Only 8 weeks old, this channel, and fantastic to everyone out there that has followed, hit that button, and supported us through our journey so far. But yes, Stig is out. We're under safety car conditions, and well, I'll tell you what. Bit of a relief for the guys at front knowing that they had to box anyway, and well, this has just done it for them, mate. So damage limitations, I dare say, and they might be further enough along that the safety car delta is not going to affect them, mate. So be interesting to see how this one all plays out. Of course, we're going to see Nodsty, Nat Hammer, I dare say Crazy Kiwi, and probably Bopton all in the pit lane almost at the same time as Dementor 109, welcome to the stream. Thank you for following my friend Formula 4 Racing. This is the Aussie division. Yes, we are at Albert Park, Melbourne, Australia, and this is our home Grand Prix, round 8. We are very unique here at Formula 4. We have the multiplayer cars. There are 5 teams, 4 players in each team, 2 divisions, 1 Europe, 1 Australian. And the boys design their teams, their names, their colours, and we go racing based on a pot system. The calendar is randomised just to fit in with the differentiality, if that's a word, of the whole consensus of the league. And it's just a great concept and, well, usually pretty good racing. The UK boys, you can catch them on this very channel. Yes, they are broadcasting to this channel these days, and it is great to see. And they kick off at 8 p.m. BST on Monday night, so probably in about 8 hours' time, I dare say. And, well, probably a little bit longer than that, but, well, you get the drift anyway. So catch the UK boys, show them your support, and I'm sure they will much appreciate it. One of my co-commentators, hello there, Housey, will be taking that one, of course, and did a great job on his own last week. And, well, he'll do another great job, and as when our clocks change and the becomes a bit more easier as we go into daylight savings and the UK go into the other way. The gap becomes 11 hours. It become 10 before it becomes 11 because I think your UK clocks change end of October, I do believe Droft does, and ours are early October, so it'll be 6 a.m. So when that happens, and I'm still obviously in a scenario that we all find ourselves in Australia, or on the East Coast anyway, in lockdown, I will definitely put my hand in the ring, hat in the ring. Me and Housey will jump in for you UK lads and stream it how we stream the Aussie lads. It's only, well, it's probably the right thing to do, of course, and we'll get the UK boys some of that glorious airtime. I was a fan of this league before I joined it, and those UK lads, I'll tell you what, if you go back to the YouTube, it's all there. If you go to the About page on the Twitch channel, click the YouTube, there's all their racing there, folks, and I'll tell you what, there's some phenomenal racing in some of those streams. And it was just a shame that, well, unfortunately, last season we couldn't quite get every single stream on air. But now that is a massive goal of mine not to happen. And we are going to try to get them every week on air. And, well, not for anything, they deserve to be. And everyone needs a stream. Everyone deserves to have a stream, of course. And who better not to have racing like this broadcasted absolutely everywhere for your enjoyment everywhere and anywhere you are in the world. But I think that Luke West 2299 draft must be old boys, mate, because, yeah, oh, TCF that's his dad. It's his, oh, that's Lucas. Lucas and Caden, I think I remember from last time. But yes, my dad is old boy. He's very angry. Well, he's in P16 at the moment, and he's trying to catch back up. There he is there. And if you're watching the stream, you can see there he is there. Your dad is famous now, Lukey boy. No, you're joking. Yes, he's trying to catch the back of the field. He's on fresh softs. He'll probably need to, well, touch and go whether he'll make them to the end. But 10 laps from now, then probably one more lap. This lap under the safety car still. And, well, it's going to be touch and go. They'll be almost dead towards the end of this Grand Prix. As we go back up to where Suicide 5 and Tollers, 5th and 6th. Suicide on 2 lap old soft, so he's going to try to, well, he's going to need to try to get that move done on Tollers, almost pretty quick smart. And, well, he has got Rip the Beans behind him on 2 lap old softs as well. So these two boys are definitely looking to jump at least Tollers, if not Fury. Fury up there in 3rd place, albeit fresh set of mediums, but he does have Crazy Kiwi, and we know what the softs are like on a restart. As, oh, Housey, yes, Housey, he does it to me. I don't know why I forget. I always forget. Thank you, Housey. Thank you. He reminds me about the driver of the day nearly every week that he's not here. And just, I don't know, every week he's not here. I don't know why, but I always forget. But there you go. Driver of the day poll.
That's your age. Safety cars in this lap.
So we'll go to Nat Hammer, and I'll quickly type this up.
Fury Strat and Kiwi. As Fury Strat exited the pits, changing his tire. I'm not sure who hit who, but they both got a 5-second time penalty for hitting each other. Oh. Whether or not that's a Codemasters thing, or it's actual contact, I'm sure we'll find out later. But that could hamper their race. On board with Nat Hammer you go then.
We are on board as Nodsty has dropped the hammer. He certainly has, but Nat Hammer is still there all over him. And have a look at that. What a great restart by Nat. Fantastic stuff. Was not caught napping at all. Still within 2 tenths, 3 tenths. And that is one of the best, well, reactions you could possibly ever have as Fury. We've got green. Oh, there you go. Crazy Kiwi's around. Crazy Kiwi is around. And that has caused a huge hiccup. And there you go. Crazy. There you go. Look at all those cars. Oh, Crazy Kiwi is around, and there you go. Everyone at the restart, so close together. We have lost. Bozza is out. Bozza is a casualty from that, as Kiwi and Tollers, the 2 reserve boys, took each other out. Old boy has got no front wing, so if he was angry before, he'll be absolutely devastated now. As there you go, Brad Tay crawling back to the pit lane, so that affected quite a number of cars there dropped from Crazy Kiwi, TCF Old Boy, Brad Tay, Tollers, and Bozza, all affected in that, well, safety car restart. Kiwi lost it, and it was just whack, all into each other.
Yeah, I can't believe that's only brought out a virtual rather than a full safety car, because there's about 5 cars in one section of the track just dead. Game over. But obviously, with no safety car coming out, that sort of ends their race a little bit.
Yes, it does, mate.
This is a very late one.
Let's just have a look. Where is
But this does help. Even this virtual safety car, this does help the soft runners. Just make sure those tyres will last till the end.
And I need one
Shame
more.
you can get your replay system working, eh?
Oh, mate. Yeah, it's the timing. It's just, yeah, it's so difficult to... I've actually got to get a lesson. I think I know the perfect person to reach out to, but just a matter of getting it done there, Droft. And I tried on my own, and, well, half pass. Probably call that an E if I was still at school, and... well, let's bring back a lot of memories anyway. So, yeah, definitely a fail.
That was a long time ago.
That was a long time ago. Still using the abacus, I think it was, Droft. But,
Chisel and a stone.
Yeah. So there you go, folks. We're going to put the driver of the day poll in the chat. I've just typed it up, and there it is. I could only put 5, and they were the 5 that I thought of. Had a bit of thinking about it. Not just 5 any drivers, but yeah, they were the best 5 that I could possibly think of, and they are there. So get your votes in, folks, and that will determine our driver of the day. Thank you very much. Well, that driver of the day was proudly brought to you by Hello There, Housey. Thank you very much, mate. Much appreciated. And I wish you a great call in the UK stream a bit later on in your time zone, of course. But yes, well, Suicide 5, P7, so he's dropped a couple of places from that restart. I think he might have just let Macedonian go. Oh, Kyotonic is around. Is that Kyotonic? It certainly is.
It is.
And he's around at that last corner, and I'll tell you what, you wouldn't want to come around there in a hurry and collect him. Oh, it's going to be so close as he keeps it off the racing line, which is what we love to see. Bopton is up into P7. Great race from that lad. He just kept plugging away, and I do believe he was way down the back there, Droft, as we will see. There we go. Bopton up 12 positions. So fantastic Grand Prix from that lad. As Chasey Dane up in a P8. Great drive so far. Yes, lap 22 of 29. We have still got 7 laps remaining, folks. A long way. 7 laps. Believe it or not. It might not seem that long, but I tell you what, here at Melbourne, especially when you're counting every time you go through corners 11 and 12, I tell you what, 7 laps is a lifetime. And as
Smakinder is round. He's in a wall. Turn 2. So I'm not sure if he's got any damage though.
Well, it doesn't look like
Doesn't look like there's any damage on the car.
No.
But Nodsty's checked out. Nodsty has broken the DRS. He's dropping that hammer now. So Rip the Beans, I think, is the only one of that top. Well, he is the only one of that top 3. It looks like he's going to be able to stay with him. So he needs to get the move done on that hammer very fast if he's going to win this race. Yeah,
that's right. Well, let's just see how many time penalties. Beans has a 3-second. Fury has 5. Suicide has 3. Bopton has 3. Johnny M4 has 3. Blue Dog now has 3. And Old Boy has 6 seconds worth of time penalties. So, well, that's especially after the field's being bunched up. Well, where you're fighting, where these boys are fighting, they are kind of almost nose to certain. Yes, a second or 2 here or there, but, well, they're going to be dropping places and others are going to be gaining places, of course. Beans will need to drop hammer and drop him by at least 3 seconds if he wants any shot of that P2. Otherwise, he might as well just hold that 3rd position if he's not quite quick enough. Of course, he's on 1 lap older softs than Nat Hammer, 6 lap versus 5 lap, and towards a 12 lap stint, that extra lap is definitely going to hurt, of course. And so I want to get that move done pretty quick. Smart as Old Boy sets the fastest lap of the Grand Prix on lap 23 or 29 with a 1 minute 23.6, which reminds me, folks, excuse me.
Oh, Beans had a look. Beans did have a look there. I tell you what, if Beans gets Rip the Beans gets a good launch at the final corner, he's going to be through those 2 DRS zones in turn 1 and 2. He's lost it. Nope.
Well, there you go.
Back end went so. He's got another lap of catching back up to the back end that hammer.
He does.
It just looks like once you're in dirty air, it's very, very difficult to do anything about it.
Yeah.
But we've got Hello Kitty 456, which is nice to see.
Well, there you go. It's a whole chunk full of points coming Hello Kitty's way if they can finish in those positions, of course. Now, here's a bit of a fun fact for you boys and girls at home. The fastest ever lap in a Grand Prix ever completed at this circuit, at this magnificent street circuit here in Melbourne, Australia, was done by one Michael Schumacher in 2004 with a 1 minute 24.125. The last race we had here at the Melbourne Grand Prix in 2019, the fastest lap of that Grand Prix was a 1 minute 25.580. And that was done by Valtteri Bottas in the Mercedes. So, well, there you go. Those 2004 cars. A 120, that's a second and a half, just about quicker than Bottas's 2019 time. And well, there you go. That says absolutely everything. Those cars were sick, and I'm such an old school.
He's having a look. He's got it done. He's got it done. P2.
Thank you, Droft. And yes, we just caught that one there. And oh, hang on a minute. Hammer's not done. Hammer sent it on the inside. But no, Beans says, no, you don't. I'll have the inside for the next corner if you don't mind. And well, Beans finally completes that move. But hang on a minute here, guys. I think Nat Hammer fancies himself. He's got DRS. So Beans is trying to break the toe here. And he goes to the right-hand side of the track. He moves back to the line. You're allowed to do that. One defensive move only. And he has navigated that quite well. And he keeps Nat behind him for another lap on 25 of 29.
It's a nice move. The next battle on track, the next closest, is Bopton on Suicide 5.
Oh, he's actually just got by him.
He's just I don't know if he's let him through there. I'm not sure if Suicide 5 may have damage.
Let's have a look at Suicide 5's car. Doesn't look like it. He's got both end plates, so no visible damage. But there you go. Bopton breezes by him, and that's two pot 4 boys battling it out on track for P6 and P7. So great stuff by these two. And yeah, well, Bopton wants a shot at Fury by the looks of it, because he's all of a sudden starting to gap Suicide 5 ever so slightly, albeit just a few tenths, but a few tenths in a few corners over the lap is at least nearly a second. So, well, let's just see if Bopton can keep this momentum going, of course, and try to pull himself up as high as he possibly can through the running order, as we will go back up to where Nat Hammer and Rip the Beans, and yeah, Rip the Beans is just starting to creep away ever so slightly there, Droft, isn't he? He's 8 tenths of a second now, 9 tenths, and well, Beansy will need to at least gap Nat by 3 seconds for him in order to keep that P2 at the moment. Of course, he does have a 3-second time penalty. And yes, sorry, mate, go ahead.
Pace he's going, he will do it, because he's done 9 tenths that lap while Nat's had DRS. So if he keeps that up, what he just did that last lap, he should be able to get that gap. Bopton is on 6 seconds of penalties, and at the moment it's very close with Chasey Dane to being within 6 seconds. So that's probably why Bopton's got his foot down. He will know that Chasey has no penalties and is within 6 seconds of him.
There you go. Exactly. You're spot on there, Droft.
But
absolutely spot on.
His teammate has just done him a favour, because Johnny's just passed Chasey.
He certainly has, and now Chasey finds himself nearly 7 seconds behind Bopton. So he certainly has those golf racing boys, whether it be intentional or not, sort of worked out for the best for Bopton, of course, having those 6 seconds worth of time penalties. But well, Suicide 5 will be knowing that he needs to hang on to the back of Bopton if he wants to jump him. See if he can jump him, of course. There is 3 laps remaining, folks. 3 laps, as I'll go back to the intervals to see where they're all at. And yes, the close, well, they started to open up a little bit. But Old Boy is starting to make a little... Oh, he spun! Old Boy spun again. He's around. What is going on with Old Boy? He's just not having the day of it, and looked like he was shaping up Spakinder. And well, next thing you know, he finds himself with no front wing. You'll need to go, well, it's lap 27 or 29. Put it in the pit lane, Old Boy. Fix her up and just plot around and get yourself some points at least there, brother. As we will go back up to the very pointy end. And yes, Beansy has put the hammer down. Well, no pun intended, but 1.6 seconds at the moment here, Droft. There is 2 laps remaining. This is very, very close. Beansy on 1 lap.
No, he's picked up another penalty.
Oh, no.
Beans has 6 seconds, so now he's got Macedonian to keep himself on the podium.
There you go. No
so
one.
Macedonian could have just snuck a podium if he can keep the pace.
No wonder I was just seeing him. I thought, gee, there's 2 laps to go. Beansy's absolutely, sending it. And, well, it makes all the more sense, all the more reason why now, because he's picked up that extra 3 seconds. He needs to gap, as you did touch on. And, yeah, well, there you go. Beansy pushing the absolute limit. And, yeah, he's so sending it. This is either make or break. This is all or nothing for Beans. Because if it's... I'm not even going to say it. I'm not going to say it, folks. But, yeah, there you go. As Lukey Boy is saying that his dad, Old Boy, is going for the fastest lap. Well, unfortunately, young fella, that's what he's got to play with today. And, yeah, not a great day out for your dad. He finds himself in P13. Which is unfortunate from the pot 2 driver. Rip the Beans, yes, 2.8 seconds he has gapped Nat Hammer. Macedonian, he's hanging on here, Droft. Your boy Macedonian is bringing fury with him. And you can just see Bopton in the distance there. And yes, he certainly has dropped Suicide 5. It was only a couple of laps ago, and he's nearly put 3 seconds on him. So there you go. Bopton is absolutely sending it. And, well, who was that behind him that they just lapped? I think it might have been, was that Old Boy? Yes, it certainly was. So Old Boy, we're putting on a fresh set of softs. He's going to have to contend with, well, cars that have lapped him, so he's not going to have a clear run. The ghosting is off, so it's going to make it hard for him to do a fastest lap. Yeah, being a back marker, of course, as Johnny M4, well, there he is there, looking at the back of Suicide 5. He has started to creep up ever so slightly, but I dare say Suicide 5 is going to hang on to that P7 unless those softs fall off the cliff within the next lap and a half. Suicide 5 should stay where he is, if not jump a position. But yes, have a look at Bopton. And while he's getting held up by Old Boy. Old Boy just went past him, and he fancies his chances. Old Boy is a very quick driver, but Bopton is a lead car, Old Boy. You can't, unless you're oh, there you go, he is. So,
yeah, he's fine.
Yeah, he's
fine.
He's
fine
away.
to do that.
He's pulled away.
He's going for the fastest lap. He doesn't want this traffic.
He doesn't want the traffic. I tell you what, I know Old Boy very, very well. He'd be pretty disappointed he wasn't way up there in the running order. But well, if he can get fastest lap and make himself feel a bit better, why not? Go for it. But yes, Johnny M4
Johnny on Suicide 5.
He certainly is. Turn 1, is he? No, he's not. As Suicide 5 holds his line, Johnny M4, those mediums would feel pretty good compared to those 12-lap-old softs. We are on the last lap of the Grand Prix, folks. Lap 29 of 29. And this is a battle for P7 and 8. This is Suicide 5 versus Johnny M4. Hello Kitty versus Golf Racing. And these boys are, well, Johnny has had his eye on this position for the last couple of laps. He's just reeled in Suicide 5 when it mattered. And I dare say he's going to use this track to his advantage. Oh, there you go. It's just done it. It has just done it. He's just copped himself another time penalty. And, well, that's all she wrote, unfortunately, as we'll go back up to the front as, well, the leaders are starting to round the last couple of corners here at this track at Melbourne, Australia. And, yes, Nodsty, there it is there, turn 15, the Schumacher stand, the Prost stand, the centre stand, the straight, and here he comes. Nodsty wins at Melbourne, Albert Park, the home Grand Prix. Fantastic race. Rip the Beans crosses the line in P2. Let's hope he can keep it. Nat Hammer, P3. What a drive from him. And yes, no, he jumps Rip the Beans. Rip the Beans, P3. Is he going to keep P3? Macedonian. Yes, P4. So Beansy holds on to that third place. Macedonian P4. Fury Strat P5. Bopton P6. Whoa, he gets jumped. Suicide 5 P6. Bopton P7. Johnny M4 gets relegated to P9. Chasey Dane P8. Kyotonic just waiting for him to come around this last couple of corners. See where it all pans out, folks. But I'll tell you what, Bopton P7 by, well, have a look at that. 5/100ths of a second, we'll just call that. And there you go, Kyotonic, 10th position. Blue Dog comes home in 11th. And Smakinda, well, after a bit of an error, finds himself down in 12th position.
Yeah, I was on board with Suicide 5 on that final lap, and he needed 2 tenths of a second he needed to get from Bopton, and he just got it going around the final corner. It was a great last lap.
There you go. So, well, no strange...
My biased Hello Kitty opinion.
Well, I mean, I heard your ears. I could hear it in your voice when you're like, oh, fourth, fifth, and sixth. It was like, all of a sudden the new Plutonian came alive. And I thought, hang on a minute here, we could stretch our lead even further. Come on, boys. But well, there you go. Great showing from all of the lads. And let's just see the final running order for the stewards to do their thing. Of course. Wait for this timing screen to pop up. Just give us 1 second. And there it is. So the fastest lap of the Grand Prix, Old Boy did get it with a 1 minute 23.625. So he did get the fastest lap at the end of the day. But there you go. We'll just wait for them to tick over for the stewards, of course. There we go. And we'll go down to the bottom, as we do every week. And then we'll get the top 3 in for a driver interview. Missed who won the driver of the day I'll have to double check that. Who won the driver of the day, folks? Please let us know in the chat. I did miss it when it came out. Yes. There you go. There's Fury saying to Bozza, sorry for what happened. Tried to jump on the brakes and not end up backing down. There's nothing he could do. There you go. So, yeah, they tried to avoid it. It happens. That is racing, folks. That is racing. That's what happens. And unfortunate from the lads who were, well, at consequence of that incident. But, yeah, that is racing. And that's what I'm asking in the chat. I didn't even see where the driver of the day, who won that in the end. There was too much action and missed the call out by the stream. But in the poll, waiting, yeah, that's what I'm asking. Is anyone in the chat? No, I'm pretty sure, I'm only guessing, I didn't see it. So, Jodaku, if you know who won the poll in the Twitch chat for driver of the day, please let us know, as we'll go on a quick pause and I'll get these drivers in for a driver interview. Okay, folks, we have been joined by, I believe it's at the moment, just Rip the Beans. And, well, Beansy, what a qualifying effort by yourself, your good self there, mate. Well, hang on a minute. Nat Hammer, sorry, this happens all the time. Sorry, mate, give us 1 second. We'll start off with Nat. Nat, P3, congratulations on another great drive, mate. Fighting is the new name that we should call you. Fighting Nat Hammer, because that's all you seem to be doing, mate. Bringing yourself from the back of the grid or just out of position through qualifying. Never give up, and, mate, another third position, another place on the top 3. So congratulations on another great drive, mate. I'll tell you what, there must have been some hairy moments throughout that Grand Prix. Talk us through it, mate.
Thanks, guys, and congrats to Aus Div for pulling away out into the sunset, taking that win. The start was very, very intimidating. I think it was only Macedonia and I didn't know that Aus Div was on the mediums. He was too far in front. Yeah. Having all the softs around you, and they're just outpacing you, and they can outbrake you. So it was a very hairy start. I think in turn 1, lap 1, we went 4 wide, and we decided to back out,
which was good.
But take the smarter option. And that's frustrating, being on the medium tyre and getting a better start than the softs, but not being able to do anything with that is so frustrating. But it's about we had those 2 early safety cars, and I just thought, you know what, it'd be better to stay with the leaders. We'll go long. Medium soft is doable, especially with those 2 safety cars. And then it ended up just being a massive battle with Rip in terms of track position and then time penalties.
Yeah, it was a cracking battle between used to, in particular, Rip the Beans and your great self there, Nat, towards the end there. And while Beansy had those time penalties, we could see what he was trying to do. And then he clocked himself up another one. And it was like...
He also had the pace.
Yeah, he's also had the pace, but he was pushing that extra bit hard and got himself another one, which was unfortunate from the lad, which made him push even harder. And, he just got there in the end. But nevertheless, mate, on your P3, congratulations on another great drive and another great fistful of points coming your way, of course, Monster Energy way. And, you find yourself at the moment in P4, I do believe, in the Drivers' Championship. And where are you? Yes, on 102 points prior to this Grand Prix. So, doing a phenomenal job, and we head to Singapore next week on Mondays. So, is that one of your faves there, Nat, or not a fan of it?
Oh, don't get me wrong, I liked it last year, but this year is going to be very interesting in terms of who's going to jump to the front.
Yeah, exactly right, mate. Exactly right. Of course, qualify well is usually the general consensus, and well, we'll push on, of course. But yes, congratulations on another great drive, another podium to Nat Hammer. Awesome stuff by you, mate. Well done.
Thanks, guys. Hope to see you next week.
That's it, buddy. So we'll go to Mr. Rip the Beans. Rip the Beans team, Jaguar. Well, tell you what, mate, you like doing things the hard way. Awesome qualifying for you, to say the least, mate. Considering your words of the sandbagging nature in the Discord, saying how much you hated it, saying how much you'll probably be looking at the crowd, saying that you're probably not going to finish. Neil puts it on the front row, and P2. I tell you what, mate, that's not bad.
Yeah, I do hate the track. Very passionate about hating this track, but yeah, those safety cars weren't very kind to me.
Yeah.
But the strategy worked. I knew to stay off the mediums around here because the mediums are absolutely rubbish around here as a race tyre. So I just soft hard soft and reeled in.
There you go. So I'll tell you what, Beansy, you're starting to come alive now, and well, maybe a bit of a poke of the bear by Snooey in the chat earlier on in the week, giving you a rundown on your points breakup. But you find, hang on a sec, that screen has just changed. Let me just wait for this screen to roll over. You find yourself on, whereabouts are you? Rip the beans, on 26 points prior to this Grand Prix. So, well, almost doubled your points tally in one Grand Prix. So, all credit to you, mate. And, well, the season is long, of course. Yes, at least another 13 rounds remaining. So, mate, just keep plugging away.
Oh yeah, yeah, I'm coming. Eventually.
Well, you said it last week. You said it again this week. Maybe we're gonna have to start believing you, Beansy, because that's another great job and great drive by you, mate. P2, congratulations.
Cheers, mate. Good call, boys.
Cheers, mate. As we move to, well, this bloke here, I'll tell you what. You getting sick of the commentary box yet, Nodsty? Because you are here week in, week out, prior to this Grand Prix on 140 points, and when you needed to put your foot down, get your focus, you absolutely did. The boys could not catch you. They couldn't reel you in, and, well, another victory to your name, mate. Fantastic stuff.
Oh, yeah, it wasn't a bad race, I could say. Back-to-back wins is always nice.
Bloody hell.
The strat was really nice to me today. Completely stuffed Beans over, like he said.
Yeah.
Like, it literally couldn't have come out any more perfect. Had the fresh soft stop on and just had the pace over Nat Hammer and got the gap out.
Well, that's exactly right, mate. And, well, at the end of the day, you've got to sort of, well, you've got to be there to take it, but you've also got to make it to be there. So it comes down to you make your own luck, and yeah, luck plays a part of it, but you've still got to be there to do it. So, well, another great drive by you, my friend. And well, were you? I don't know. It was like you were just sitting there waiting and waiting and waiting. You thought, you know what? I know he's got a time penalty. I'm just going to send it anyway. You done it. You gapped him, and it was almost like, you know what, boys? I'm taking this one home.
Yep. Pretty much sums it up.
I love it from this bloke. I remember not too long ago, we well, when Nodsty burst onto the scene with us, and well, with me anyway, and the first Grand Prix took home the win, and the first thing that came out of his mouth was, you know what, boys, I'm just spewing I wasn't here from the start. I'll give you a good run. And I'll tell you what, everyone says I'm going to finish top 10. I'm going to sit on the fence. Not this lad. He's coming and he's going to take it home. And, well, it is great to see. And he backs up his words too, because he's usually in the commentary box. So another great fistful of points coming your way. And with that, I'll tell you what, looking for your UK counterparts to get some good results as well, because you're starting to close the gap ever so slightly on Hello Kitty there.
Yeah, it's pretty solid team all around we have at Rockstar, especially the British side as well. It works really well, so I hope they go well. Good luck to them boys, and yeah.
That's it. So, well, thank you very much, Nodsty, and of course, yes, next week we are at Singapore, so Brace yourselves for a huge installment of the Singapore Grand Prix, of course, the longest Grand Prix on the calendar, and usually does go the time distance, of course. Let's pray it is a, well, for me anyway, and for everyone involved, a dry race. It is very tricky indeed, Singapore, that track, and you definitely want it to be dry, favourably, of course, but these boys will race in all sorts of conditions. But I tell you what, that was another great installment of Formula 4 Racing, the Australian division, and, well, unfortunately, we did lose Pillars early due to a technical issue, and Droftas has come in to save the day. So thank you very, very much, Droft. Very much appreciated, mate. He's probably gone.
Anytime. Oh,
oh, you're there. There you go. So, so thank you very much, Droft. Very much appreciated. Awesome stuff by you. Putting your hand up, not the easiest thing to do on the spot. Thank you very, very much. And yes, to all of you viewers who saw that magnificent race at our home Grand Prix, thank you for watching. Thank you to all the new followers. But for us, for now, we are Formula 4 Racing. Goodbye.